So the core idea behind the token was to create a participation of our Synpulse people, for them to actively participate in the value creation that's happening. So the whole purpose is to create stickiness and engagement, right, over multiple years. And that, I think, formed the guiding principles around the architecture of the coin as well. The challenge was, back in the days, we were not ready to build, let's say, a shareholder agreement type of setup that we could just carve out an ESOP and then distribute to the people. So we had to become a bit more creative. We then said, basically, how do we create a non-dilution participation? It's actually a formidable challenge, to be answered. And I'm sure many companies are out there like this. What we did is we created a separate entity, which was called the Synpulse Capital. I think, Giannis, we analyzed multiple geographies, right? Where it's established. Yep. And I think Singapore was then chosen to be the incorporation, because it had the most progressive crypto laws, and also how you deal with multiple shareholders of an entity. And then we basically said, hey, out of the 20 odd entities, we now have a 21st entity, which is Synpulse Capital. And we will fund this Synpulse Capital with the profits that are coming out of the 20 units. That way, Synpulse Capital is fully tokenized and owned by everyone. And guess what? The rest is history. So they liked the proposal, and then we inaugurated 2021, I would say.
True for 2021.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. 2021, but then for 2022 we did the funding.
That's a very good question, and I can share my part of the story. We'll see if it holds true. But we did those crypto trainings since a while within the company to educate our people as we also educate our clients. And I remember like 2020 around, I had 1 or 2 partners in the training, and in line with the training, we always issued the Synpulse token and used it also as an example to say, like, it's nice we created this token on the blockchain, but nobody cares, right? What is the connection? And so maybe this could have been one of those triggers or incentives that this is super cool technology and we could also use that. But I don't know.
No, absolutely not. Was not the trigger. In fact, the token we could have also implemented not using blockchain, right? But maybe just a bit of a personal anecdote around this. I was actually never much interested before 2019 in this, I just didn't care. And I sometimes have a saying that if my hairdresser talks about something financial, then it's immediately need to run for the door. And, they were talking about these kind of things, right? So I'm like, okay, this is not for me. But then from a work perspective, we saw those use cases coming up. We had people inside Synpulse that were advocating this. We even had workshops with our clients. So I think from an infrastructure point of view, I got very interested. Like, there's something behind this. And we're not talking now the secondary market, token and stuff, right? And so what happened is, I think it was a Saturday, I was browsing YouTube, and I was reading up on some of the use cases on crypto, and I found that there are actually college students that were trying to get financing for their college education. And what they did, they created their own token that then, for everyone who bought it, they actually participated in the smart contract, defined 15%, I think it was, of the future salaries for a defined period of time. That was the inner value of the token, right? And like that, they then sold the token, and with the proceeds, they financed their university studies. And I found this striking. Like, wow, okay, this is interesting, right? So it's financial modeling using that technology. And then I spent my Saturday on YouTube. I still remember it was a tutorial on Solidity. And Solidity is a programming language or scripting language in Ethereum. And it was an 8-hour tutorial. And it took me about 5 hours to get through all the, until I launched the coin on the testnet. And yeah, at the end of the day, I had my Roshi token done. Like, wow, okay, this works. And then I got so excited, and it was clear that Yanis is the guy inside Synpulse, right? So then I approached you and said, hey, I think we can build our employee participation program on the blockchain, right?
Yeah.
Are you up for it?
Yes. And everything else is history.
Exactly.
Yeah.